This meeting is being recorded.
Is a physicist, engineer, luthier, an academic who specializes in the acoustics of musical instruments, especially original string instruments like oud and others. And as a scholar in physics engineering, he will give us an interesting approach in instruments, traditional instruments. And I invite Mr. Emir Değirmenli to have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I will share presentation. Just a second. Thank you. I'm so glad to hear and join you. Today, yes, humanity's relationship with music has always been marked by profound and undeniable interaction. Through this Congress, we witnessed these connections vividly reflected in the presentation delivered by our distinguished speaker. In my talk, yes, I would like to shift the focus slightly and examine the human sound relationship within the very instrument that create music. Rather than emphasizing musical expression alone, I will explore the kinds of listening and sensory evaluation that serve more technically and analytical purpose in instrument making. Today, in this presentation, I will discuss how human senses, especially hearing and touch, have shaped instrument making for centuries, and how these intuitive methods connect with modern acoustic analysis. We will look at both historical craftsmanship and contemporary scientific tools and explore how they complement each other in understanding in behaviors of string instrument especially. Actually, my motivation, traditional instrument makers rely strongly on sensory skills, and craft-based intuition. They often keep a distance sometimes from technological tools in order to preserve tradition, I think. Maybe the Cremona is maybe is the famous musical instrument maker, the while making the plays, and generally they keep distance from technological tools. Modern engineering studies, the other side, the modern engineering studies, especially when carried out by engineer and sometimes unfamiliar with instrument making, can become highly technical and difficult for makers to understand or apply this technique in workshop, for example. This creates a clear gap between traditional craft practice and modern scientific approach. Our motivation is to show that these two worlds can work together, not against each other, when intuition and sensory evaluation are combined with technology, just like using tool correctly, and artistic essence is not lost. Instead, both perspectives strengthen the quality of the final instruments. If you dive in historical background, the craft of string instrument making reached an extraordinary level during the golden period of the 7th and 8th centuries. Although this period is often illustrated through both instruments, such as those made by the famous maker Amati, Stradivari, and Guarneri, the core principles apply broadly across the entire family of plucked and ball string instruments. These masters relied on intuitive craftsmanship, using their sense and evaluate stiffness, resonance, and material behavior. Their approach laid foundation the future innovations that blend note point and tap it lightly to hear its resonance frequency. This helps evaluate stiffness and tonal potential. Even though this method looks simple, it's actually a practical early form of model analysis, which is very highly detailed vibration analysis. The luthier essentially identify the mod shape with their hands and ears. Jensen and others have shown that these intuitive evaluations correlate strongly with measurements acoustic properties. And this slide presents several modern evaluation tools used in acoustic research. For example, modal analysis, precise measure vibration modes and frequency, finite element modeling, simulate structural behavior before the instrument is even built. Chladni patterns visually reveal nodal lines by using vibration and sound, and holography. And the last one, holographic interferometry captures real-time motion with remarkable details. It's a really important technique. These technologies give us the objective data that traditional makers could only infer through the experience. They allow us to document also the modern acoustic tools allow us to document, replicate, and analyze information performance with scientific precision. So the question, traditional versus modern techniques. Actually, when we compare the traditional craftsmanship with modern acoustic science, traditional method emphasizes intuition, using the hand, ears, and accumulated experience to shape the instrument. Maker evaluates play stiffness and resonance directly through touch and sound. Modern method, in contrast, provide quantitative measurements using like a laser vibrometers and computational models. While the approach seem different, they actually aim the same goal, controlling vibration behavior to achieve good tone. One provides artistic sensitivity, and the other provides analytic clarity. If we focus on the advantages of traditional method, as the image suggests, AI image, this method allows makers to evaluate place very quickly through coordinate sensor feedbacks. Makers can instantly sense stiffness, density, or irregularities simply by flexing or tapping the wood. This efficiently is valuable in the workshop. Traditional technique also preserve an artistic and musical dimension, one that cannot be fully replaced by measuring. I agree. Intuition plays a crucial role in shaping an expressive instruments. As a luthier, yes, in my workshop, I also use a lot of techniques, and intuitive techniques also is really reliable for me, actually, and very fast to get some results. And other one, precision, if you would like to get more precision and documentation in modern method. As the image suggests, this is from my laboratory, acoustic laboratory. These methods allow makers to place, scientific analysis provides accurate, repeatable data on modal frequencies, damping, and structural behavior of the instrument. Technologies like a laser Doppler interferometer, frequency response function, and FEM simulation may it possible to understand vibration phenomena that are invisible to human sense. These tools greatly enhance our ability to study acoustics in systematic and predictable way. Maybe we found that. And then, yes, two method is really useful, but the question is if we use these methods altogether. This slide explains how traditional and science complement each other in contemporary workshop. Luthiers continuous handcrafted adjustment and intuitive tapping, while modern acoustic tools help verify to document these decisions. The concept of acoustic fingerprint, for example, allow makers to match the vibration identifier of the reference instrument. Collaborating among researchers, instrument making, and musicians helps bridge the gap between subjective perception and objective measurements, resulting in stronger outcomes. Maybe you can see these photos. Hutchin provides a very clear example of how traditional and modern techniques can work together. In these two images show here, the figure on the left illustrates the traditional twist test on the top plate of violin before gluing together. In the two images shown here, the figure of the left illustrated twist test, where the maker gently twists the top plate by hand and to feel its flexibility. The image on the right shows the corresponding vibration mode captured through the clad pattern, maybe we can call it a modern technique. When we consider plates of equal mass, the increased frequency in the cladding pattern indicate the rise in stiffness. Exact what the maker sensed during twist moment. Similarly, makers often test cross-grain stiffness by holding the top plate and pressing it perpendicular to the grain. Change the feel by hand can be directly matched within the frequency increase and decrease seen in the second cladding figures. And the last one, even the traditional center pressing technique can be documented through cladding patterns and recorded objective. This example clearly demonstrated how sensor evaluation and scientific measurement can complement each other, revealing the harmony between traditional craftsmanship and modern acoustic analysis. And now, in this work, here, we see a blind test approach that compares sensor evaluation with scientific measurement. We have indicated this testing process. However, the results are still in progress and not yet completed. But I think this is really important because different wood species and thicknesses are used to eliminate visual cues, forcing makers to rely solely on touch on hearing when judging stiffness, density, and damping. At the same time, scientific tools record physical properties. And in this part, we will also try to examine the precision of sensor-based evaluation performed by instrument maker. As we know, even modern measurement technique involves some degree of error. However, these errors are well defined and directly related to the sensitivity and limitations of the equipment being used. But human-based evaluation is more complex. A maker does not always test material with identical properties, and The sensory cues they rely on can vary depending on material itself. This raises a really important question. Can a maker be mistaken by natural variability of wood? Are flexibility, stiffness, and damping always estimated accurately by hand? To investigate this question, instrument maker will be asked to assess material with controlled and measured properties by comparing their sensory evaluation with the actual physical data. This project aims to understand reliability, consistency, and limit of human based on measurement loop theory. Concludes the relationship between traditional craftsmanship and modern acoustic science is not one of opposition, but of complementary. Traditional methods preserve the intuitive artistic knowledge of the maker. Modern tools provide clarity, precision, and productivity. As we saw throughout this presentation, investigating these two perspectives, human sense and scientific measurement create a more complete understanding of the instrument acoustics. This hybrid approach lead to better documentation, more consistent outcomes, and stronger collaboration between makers and scientists. Thank you for attention.